Hello farmers and welcome back to Western Australia. Just arriving back at the farm in the early morning of June. Winter has arrived. I have leased the bale trailer. We're going to be selling the pink bales because those are fermented and ready to be sold. The price has peaked, even though the stock market was kind of telling us like July is the best time. Yeah, we're in the early morning of June and the price is pretty much at its best, I do believe. So the pink bales we do know are ready. The white ones still need a little bit more time to ferment, but we'll be selling those later on today with this trailer. You may notice the money is up to $162,000. Yes, I've been busy doing contracts today, but we're going to hang on to that money just for a second until we sell these silage bales. And when we sell these silage bales, we should have enough money to get rid of our first loan. So with all the work that's been going on for the past month and a half here in Western Australia, either I've been doing some work or the workers have been going to town. I've been kind of doing the farm managers kind of stuff, just trying to figure out how to spend the money that we're going to have here in a little while. And one thing I have noticed with the dynamic field prices mod that we are running, those prices fluctuate quite a bit. I did a contract for a cotton field down by the store, or behind the store, and I'm like, you know, this is kind of a small field. I got a field down here already. What's this field go for? And then I just looked at the price and thought, boy, that field's kind of pricey for the size. But with the dynamic field prices, it was 52% above the normal price. I was like, well, if they can go 52% above the normal price, can they go 52% below the normal price? And I haven't seen that yet, but it's a possibility, I would assume. So yeah, with all the contracts we did do, you saw some of the cultivating jobs that we had. I think I took on an extra cultivating job, and I also did 2 plowing contracts also. Well, at least a worker did in the Massey Ferguson here. So that's where all the money has come from. Now, of course, with winter being here, contracts are going to be few and far between. The one thing I'm looking for that's going to help us out again is spring is not going to be that far around the corner, which means planting season and hopefully some fertilizing contracts. That is what we need, and that should happen by the end of year 2, because we're trying to go by, like someone suggested, by the end of year 2, not doing any more contracts, which I'm all for. I just rather work on my own fields and farm if I can. So hopefully some fertilizing contracts will come up, and we can bring in a whole bunch of money in. As for our grass field, it was ready to be mowed last month, but with winter here, it didn't reach its full potential of grass height. It is still ready for harvest. I'm trying to figure out if I want to cut the whole grass field or not, so I can get it in the right cycle so I can get 3 cuts per year. Well, it all depends on how I'm going to proceed with today. So next step is, let's bring these silage bales down. I probably should show you the price that it's going for and what the stock market shows that it could have gone for. So, oh, yeah, because it's on the trailer. Let me go here. I keep forgetting when it's kind of weird that mod does not show what's on trailers and such. Silage. I was checking the wall just to see if I had places to sell it, and we do. Silage, $195 currently is what it's selling for, and we can see the max price is $194. So we definitely want to go ahead and sell it now. I think I should get $222,000 before the bonus. That's roughly what it was saying I should get. And I think our bonus is, what is our bonus? Is it 10%? Is it near 10%? It's 11%. So we should get about $240,000 for this load of silage bales. Just checking for traffic. The traffic today seems to be all piled into one, so I gotta be a little bit careful. But anywho, let's go sell all these silage bales. We'll get rid of that original loan that we had, and then we'll take it from there. I don't have to advance much more time. I think those other silage bales were at 94, 95%. So in a few hours, those will be all set, and we'll sell those as well. And then, yeah, like I said, I think the first thing I do want to get is that case tractor. We need to get ourselves a big tractor for the farm so we can start leasing bigger equipment to make the jobs go just that much easier. I don't think this store has any hours like we had on American Falls. I think the store in American Falls was open at 8 a.m. and closing at 4 p.m. I think here the store is always open. There's so many different ways I thought about going with our money that we're going to be having today, and I just don't know which direction to go. There's so many different ways I could go with it. I'm not too sure. But yeah, bigger tractor is, I know, no matter which way I looked at it, bigger tractor is step number one. Well, after selling silage bales, but for purchasing things, this is what we need to do. So already we got enough money to pay off the loan. I think the loan's like $310,000 more. Okay, it did take it all. $230,000 for the silage bales, perfect, and $25,000 for the bonus. While this is folding on up, let's go and tell the bank that we are all set. 307 not take loan. Currently, if I were to take a loan, I could take out $861,000. I'm not sure if I want to do that. Not take loan, special redemption, and is it 307 537? Is it going to wipe up the loan completely, or am I going to have to pay the 16 cents as well? Can I just... Okay. Apparently, wait, can I... If I just put down 1... I can't even put down $1 just to get rid of that amount. Alright, well, it's there. It is there. But now if I were to take out a loan, because, yeah, all they did was give the bank some money, but what it did do was eliminate a lot of the interest that we were going to be paying on that loan throughout the years. So now if I were to take out a loan, my max loan I could take out would be $1.1 million. I mean, I could easily, as we know, on a farm, you could easily spend that in a blink of an eye. But I don't want to take out the max loan. And I'm also was trying to figure out how much of a max monthly payment do I want to be making on the loans that will be taken out here in the future. But that's really good to see that we could take out a $1.1 million loan if I needed to. I would hate to see what the loan payment would be if I were to take it out for 10 years. Probably monthly payments would be a lot more than what we can afford. Definitely fertilizing contracts after planting season in a couple months would be beneficial. But let's get back to the farm, and we got to wait for these white silage bales to ferment completely. It's going to take a couple more hours, and we should bring in not as much as we just did. That was like, what, $250,000? So it might be like $240,000 because the price is dropping. And we do have just a little bit less in literage. There's that word again, literage. We have less liters than what we had on the first set. I also just realized that there is snow on the way. I don't think precipitation affects us when cutting grass. Not like a cereal crop or something like that where it says, you know, harvesting while it's raining or whatever is not the best thing for us to be doing. Alright, so before we start picking up these bales, let me just have a quick look. Yeah, they're at 97%. I'll start picking these up one at a time. I think we're going to be just actually short being able to buy our tractor without taking out a loan. Actually, one thing I didn't look at. Oh, there is a tractor here, but no, that's not what we're looking for. Actually, none of this is what we are looking for. And the tractor we are going to buy, in case you missed it, is a Case. It's the Case Magnum. Oh, it's 310. Well, you know me, I'm going to go with probably... Oh, I could put tracks on it. But I think I would prefer just that. We'll go with the EU design. I actually do prefer the EU over the American with the signals up a little bit higher. But everything else, 3-point linkage, 3-point linkage, that's everything we want. More horsepower. In the future, I could upgrade it. But more than likely, I'll just probably leave it as is, and we'll have ourselves bigger tractors in the future. That is interesting. Why is it showing me... This doesn't show as grass. It kind of shows as... Looks like straw. I don't know why it looks like straw. Very interesting. Actually, I can go ahead and speed up time a little bit. And when these all do ferment, we'll see this switch over from that symbol over. I hope it switches over to silage. You know, I think it'll be like 9:30 before this is all fermented. So I think that's when we were cutting the grass. Oh, here comes the snow. But already in the forecast, we can see cloudy skies later on. But I'll probably be figuring out our finances here a little bit in the future. But I'm going to go ahead and drive back on down to the animal dealership. Or animal dealer. And hopefully by the time we get down there, these will have fermented. If not, we'll just sit and wait until they all are. Here is a line of traffic. I think all the traffic on the map has bunched up together. Just got to be careful. I don't want the bale trailer to poke a hole through a windshield here. That's not what we need. There's our canola field just to the right of us. And yes, we did take care of the weeds in that field with the See and Spray sprayer. We also did the grass field as well. That's why our environmental score is looking as good as it is. I did get out of the tractor because I kept fast forwarding time, and I'm thinking, let's just switch over to silage. And the bales are silage right now. So that symbol there, either I'm just not, I don't know. doesn't look like a silage bale to me, but our silage bales are silage bales. They have fermented. They're all set to be sold. So currently, we do have a loan. We owe less than $1 on it. So I'm not going to be too concerned about that. The sell point should be like right here. You know what I'm going to do just in case? Yeah, I want to save the game just to be sure. Because if we don't get the money that I should, then I couldn't read every bale on the trailer. But I do believe they're all silage. Like I said, we should get about 220 and another 15,000 for the environmental score bonus. And by the looks of things, everything is silage. Except for that one bale. There we go. Get it in the sell stage. There we go. We are up to 357 for a little while. I guess we're going to spend, what, about 315,000 of that on a brand new tractor. A well-deserved tractor, I do believe, for the farm. I'm going to keep the trailer here just in case. I shouldn't say just in case I cut the grass. I mean, more than likely we're going to. All right, I'll just double check on the store page here just to make sure. Yep, large tractors. Let's go on down here to that case. And then wheel weights, wide tires, and wheel weights. And we're not going to add anything else to it. I didn't check the license plates to see if there's special plates for this series. If I do front and back. Alright, so there's no European, Australian license plates. I was just kind of curious. Back only, no plate. Okay, there we go. We don't want no plates. But yeah, there we go. 374 horse case Magnum Connect series. So let's go ahead and buy that. That is great. We're able to buy a tractor without taking out a loan. So that is back there. I'm going to leave that there, though, because when I do take out a loan and I buy some more stuff, this will already be down here. And if I'm lucky, I should be able to bring 2 things back. But let's head back to the farm. And I got to figure out exactly how I want to approach today, because, yeah, I was kind of thinking the grass field was going to be at its full height. We will be cutting grass today, though. I got to figure out if I want to buy the mowers now. I can definitely borrow a whole bunch of cash here. But I'll see you back at the farm. We'll have a better look at our finances. Standing on top of my seed hut, because I feel like I'm on top of the world now, having almost $42,000 in the bank account, plus able to be borrowing now $1.3.5 million. So that is great news. The snow is still coming down. What time is that going to stop? Not until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, I'm not in no rush. So let's advance until the snow stops, just to make sure it doesn't accumulate, because that would be a problem with cutting grass. I don't think it's going to accumulate. I mean, I'm surprised it's snowing at all, honestly, if you look at the temperature. But I don't know. Let's just get to 2 o'clock here, and the snow should come to a halt somewhere around there. The money will go up a little bit because of the greenhouses selling. There we go. Snow is gone, and it did not accumulate. No, it does not appear to be. So let's have a look at the map, shall we? And let's go to farmland. So we're keeping our eye on field number 3, and currently we can get it for 10% off at $384. The cotton field is no longer a cotton field, but if you look at the value of that field for expected yield, 114% compared to 100%. Yes, this has canola in it, and we did plant canola down here as well, so we can harvest both at the same time if we wanted to, or I can get to field number 4 and just go ahead and do what I want with it next season according so. But just to show you, you can see this field here is plus 24%, 13. I'm trying to find the extreme ones that I was seeing earlier. Plus 45%, minus 24% in our favor. So if it's in the blue, it's in our favor. In the red, it's not. So yeah, I'm just showing. So this is the field I was looking at. This was at 54%. It's come down to plus 45%, but still on the extreme side. So I think what I want to do today is a couple things, at least this month. So the silage bales are all gone. Yes, the grass field, unfortunately, didn't get to its full height. I think I want to cut the grass. I don't know if I want to cut it all, but, you know, if I'm going to cut some, I might as well cut it all, right? All right, so first thing let's do is we're going to go buy some mowers. And I was looking at getting the same mowers as I have on Hills of Tuscany, but, you know, I try not to use the same things. And then I started looking at the pricing. The reason I was choosing these because it was a wider working width, 12.3. And then I was looking at the Kubota for 10. So 2 meters less. But I will have to get, of course, the BX version. That way we can put it into a swath. So it's a lot cheaper for 2 meters less. And plus, Kubota is a brand. It's, you know, I said I looked up at the most popular brands for Australia, and Kubota shows up near the top 5 on, like, I was looking at 4 different lists from 4 different websites, and Kubota was in the top 5 on a couple of them, and like 6th or 7th on some other lists. So Kubota is pretty well used in Australia. So let's go ahead and we'll buy that for $75,000, but we don't have $75,000, of course. Let's go in and we'll grab a loan. Take out a loan for... Maybe I should try to look at everything and just get a loan for what we need. So What did I say this was going to be? That was going to be 75. So that's 100,000 for the mowers. Another thing we're going to need is a tedder, because I want to make some hay. And should I get the Kubota at 9 meters? Or get something that's at 17 meters? Double the working width, but it's more than double the price. How much hay am I going to have to make? Well, I think we'll get this. That'll be 120,000. Then I'm going to need a windrower. And might as well go with Kubotas across the board. So that's like 170. And then we're going to need a baler. And we need to get the baler that we've been using. Where is it? There it is. All right, I'm thinking we'll just take one for 300,000. 300,000. If I do it for 5 years, monthly payment is only 5,553. Now I got to remember, I don't really have any income coming in other than the apple and strawberry juice, which we're not making a whole bunch on. And then silage, we just had our silage sale. So I think I'm going to stick with this. In only 5 years, so that'll be good. Amount to pay with interest is, I'm going to say that's 327,000. So that's not too bad. We're taking that loan. And of course, I can pay it off sooner rather than later. So let's come in here and have a whole bunch of fun on buying what we need here. So first off, we need the mowers. And we need that so I can put it into a swath. As for the decals, on the Kubota, I actually like the old looking Kubota symbols on it. The name tag. So let's go ahead and get that. And then old decals on that Kubota. We'll buy that. And then, where was I? Tedders next. Kubota. Old. And then windrowers. Yep, we're going to get that. And then we want the old one. And then last but not least, we need the baler. Make sure we get our selectable bales. And wrapper design. What's the wrapper design? Oh, end turner. No, we just need the standard because we're probably going to have the baling tray that we have. And foil color. Just because they're easier to find, we're going to go with pink. I mean, that doesn't cost us any. If I want to change it later on, I can. I did select the, yeah. I want to make sure I had the right one selected. Yep, so we should all set. Let's go ahead and buy that. And that leaves me with $100,000. So I can spend $100,000 on whatever I need, or I could pay off some more of that loan if I wanted to. Well, here is our beautiful new case Magnum, which we need to cut the grass. Now, why are we making hay? Well, we're going to be getting ourselves some sheep. That is why. So, make some hay, cut the grass where the sheep are going to be, and then we can put the sheep pen down. And we'll have ourselves some animals. So, let's get back to the farm. And then we'll start widespreading the grass because we got to ted it to make hay bales. And then I got to figure out before I start cutting the grass exactly where I want to put the animal pens. I do think I want to put the animal pens where I've been talking about throughout the entire series, which is right here at this corner. And it was mentioned that in Australia there's not really penned in animals, which is, I mean, I totally agree with that. And I don't want to pen in my sheep and our cows in the future, but what I may end up doing, because we're going to be right here by the road, maybe the best thing to do is put a fence alongside the road but, you know, they can be open all out through here. So we're going to cut the grass in this general area just to get ourselves some hay, of course. And then once we ted it, windrow it, make some hay bales, we'll put down the sheep pen. So we're not going to get as much grass off the field here because it's not at its full height. But I might as well get the grass out of this before we put the pens down. Let's take a moment to unfold. And here we go. All right. So grass cutting you see me do plenty of. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to get this grass cut where I think we need to get it cut. It doesn't matter if I miss little spots here and there. But we're going to get a good amount of it cut. And I will bring all of the other equipment that we bought back to the farm. So I have to travel back and forth a lot. And we'll go ahead and start making some hay, get that cleared off. And yeah, I want some sheep by the end of this episode. This should be enough hay to get ourselves started with the sheep that we're going to have here. And if you're wondering, why not ted and have the windrower and baler behind you, like I have done in the past with windrowing and baling? And that would be because the tedder, I think, is a 9-meter wide, and the windrower is 12-meter wide. So the windrower would be taking in some grass on the side. So I'll have to ted the grass into hay. But then when we go to bale it here very soon, we will windrow it and maybe have a worker follow behind us. Although there's not that much here, so I don't know if it's going to benefit me that much. When we do make the hay bales, I'm not going to go to the largest capacity for a few reasons. One, I don't know how much the feed trough for the sheep pen that we're putting down, how much it can hold. So I don't want to make a 40,000 liter bale and it only takes like 20,000. Then that bale will just sit there out in the elements. I want to try to be a little bit realistic about things. I want to put the bales away, keep them out of the elements, all that kind of a thing. So we'll have to wait and see on that. And I'm not going to have that much hay here to begin with. So I want to make sure I'm able to empty out the bale as well. Even though I do have the mod, I think the baler has to be 10% full for it to unload with that mod. So if I put it at the largest capacity bale and if I get like 3,000 liters into it, that's not 10%, so it's not going to unload, and I would want that hay. So we got ourselves a little bit of a Kubota grass working unit going on here with the mower, tedder, windrower. Alright, so this is all of the grass that we cut for now. Once we get the sheep into the pen here soon, if, you know, because I do got the mod that will tell me also how much feed they're going to need for the year. Depending how much we got and how much the sheep are going to require, well, I got the whole of the grass field I could do the rest of this month. So I'm not going to worry too much about it. Right now I'm just going to drop all this stuff in the yard because, yeah, we're getting to the point of I need to figure out our current shed or put down another one. Yeah, I got some thinking to do about how I want to go about in the yard because financially I am better off than I thought I would be. We can borrow more money than I thought we'd be able to. And also with the loan that we did take, yes, I did take out a loan for 5 years, but it's not going to take me 5 years to pay that back. So paying the $27,000 in interest for the 5-year loan, it's not going to cost us that much because I hope to have it paid off here by the end of year 2 when we start doing some fertilizing contracts. And of course now, well, I say now, but pretty soon when we get the sheep, they'll be they'll be making some wool. And yeah, I'm not going to do a spinnery or anything to do with the fabric. We're just going to sell the wool straight up as is. And I'm not sure if the wool is going to be best to sell in April, May like it normally is, or is it adjusted to the seasons here in Australia So that would mean like September, October, somewhere around there would be the best time to sell some wool. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and windrow this up because when I use the baler going certain directions, as we know, it's going to leave a little bit of a strip because of the way Follow Me follows the tractor. Oh yeah, I was reached out by the person who created the balers that we're using, and they actually, maybe I should be saying this, but Giants would not pass the mod with a wider pickup, which seems kind of weird in some sense. I'm trying to figure out why they wouldn't pass a wider pickup for the swaths, but they would allow for the capacity to be as high as it is. And the only thing I can think of is the capacity would matter because for console players, I don't know what the limit is to how many bales you can have on a map. But by having a bigger capacity bale, of course, that would allow you to have the same amount of bales, but with more capacity, you could get more done. But having a wider working width, I guess, is the thing that Giants does not like too much. It could be the same said for like the Mark Thor root crop harvester that we, before it got put on the mod hub, that root crop harvester, the header could be 18 meters wide. So it was basically 3 headers. So the standard header was 6 meter and it had a header on either side, making a total of 18 meters. But when it got put on the mod hub, that's why Mark Thor had different working speeds for the headers. I guess they're fine with that, but the working width is something that they don't approve of. Not too sure why, but it is what it is. Oh yeah, and someone did say when putting the baler on, and you know what? Actually, we'll use the Massey Ferguson because I'll use less fuel. Why don't I have it follow the windrower and not the tractor, and that may fix the problem. I think with Follow Me, that mod there, it has to follow a tractor. It cannot follow an implement. That's what I remember. So let me just see if I'm correct on that. Let's see if I can get it to follow the windrower. I'm not going to do it now, but I just want, since I do have the windrower going, I do want to test this out. Actually, I don't even have to turn on the baler. But if I hit Control F, no, it's got to follow the tractor. I can't select anything else. It's got to follow the tractor, not the implement. No big deal. All right, let me jump back into the 6230. Let me get this all in some nice swaths, and we'll start making some hay bales. Don't have to worry about the baler wrapping the bales because it only wraps grass when it comes out the back. That's the only thing, but I don't think I'll ever need just plain old grass. That's the only thing with those balers, with the wrappers on it. I don't think there's an option to turn the wrapper off. So if you just want to make a grass bale and not ferment it, I don't know if you can do that on those type of balers. As for hay, straw, or whatever comes out the back, it won't wrap it because it's not grass. Anywho, let me go ahead and finish up this grass field, or what I cut anyways, and then we'll start making some hay bales, and then we can move them out of the way, and then before you know it, we're going to have some sheep running around here on the farm. I have made an outright mess of windrowing this field. I always do headlands first, which I probably shouldn't be doing, and then when I try to make nice straight lines otherwise, this never goes well for me. But in a few seconds here, that mess will be taken care of. Alright, so I'm not going to make the smallest bales. I think we will make 150 centimeter bales. So let's get that activated. 150, yep, that's good. Turn on automatic drop, yes. And also with the Kubota not being as wide as the Kuhn baler that the Kuhn windrower, the swaths won't be as wide. So how many liters are in those bales? Alright, that's pretty good, 6,500. And then once I get the sheep pen down and figure out what the sheep are gonna, or at least what the sheep pen can consume, then we will figure out how to do bales in the future. Yeah, I am missing some swaths here and there as well, so the worker is doing a better job than I was picking up all the swaths before. Yeah, the one thing I gotta remember though is need to come to a stop because we're not making as big bales as before. I want to make sure I get every little bit of hay off of here because I won't be able to get back in here too easily once the sheep are running around. And you can see we're making a good amount of bales as it is. Already that's 3 bales, so we're going to have, I would say, like 15 bales possibly. Maybe somewhere in there. Picking up the last few scraps of hay in the field. Which I'm kind of hoping in FS25 that maybe decay might be a thing. From my understanding, from what I read in an email recently, yeah, Giants is only just touched on the surface of what is going to be available and new in FS25. So can't wait to see any announcements coming from FarmCon in the next few days or so at this point. But yeah, overall, that is all of the hay that we have. I'm going to leave that turned... Well, turn this off. I'm going to leave that bale that's in there, because if I want more, then we can grab some more. Alright, so now it's a matter of putting down the sheep pen. And what I want to do before I get into construction mode, because I sometimes forget to do this, and then I'm like, oh, I need this, because I need to know where the zone markers are going to be. Like, I don't know where the spawn point is for wool or none of that. So let's go into construction mode. Animals, sheep. And another thing we're going to be doing is pasture extension mod. Expandable pastures mod ready. That is what we need. So we're picking this little open sheep pen right here. Free range sheep pasture, open. 500 sheep is what we can have. So you can see that big of an area. Now, the blue area is the area the sheep will roam around in. And if I want to expand the pasture, which I will maybe today or maybe in the future, well, definitely in the future, if not today, we will expand the pasture a little bit further so they have a big range to go out on here. So, all right, I see where the water goes. I see where the feed goes. And I see where we buy the sheep. I don't know where the spawn point is for the wool. So I'm trying to figure out, you know, we can drive up through here. Oh, now I can see it. Never mind. Now it's showing up. Must have been buried in the ground a little bit there. All right, so it spawns on that side there. So let's just go ahead and we'll put it. Yeah, this will work. That will work. All right, and now what we can do, because I'll show you a little bit, pasture expansions, and if we go, what's the biggest I could do? Do I want to go 25 by 50? How big is that area? Oh, that's a big area. Okay, why is it red? Because these are free to put down. I don't understand. Why is it red? I used this before. It wasn't red. Alright, I may have to fiddle around with this. Oh, maybe... No? Yeah, why is that red? All right, so I don't remember it being red when I was testing it out, but this is fine. So basically what it'll do is when I put this down, it'll say what pasture do you want this to be aligned to. Since we only got one, it's this one right here. So the sheep will roam out even further. Now, even though it doesn't quite show it, it should be able to go out this far here. And these are free to put down, so I am going to overlap them just to be sure. Alright, that's good enough for today. And since they're free, we can expand it in the future. I'm not going to go and get an animal trailer and do all that. We're just going to go in here. And I do have the enhanced animals on as well. Now, the thing is, I don't know what type of sheep that you have in... we're not going to do goats. No, we're not doing goats. So maybe just go with just the regular kind of sheep, if I can say that. These are 8 months old. We want them to start reproducing because we can have 500 sheep here. Actually, it says 550 there. Interesting. So let's click on that. And I think we'll just start off with... I think today we're just going to start off with 20. Because I want to see how much feed they need. I mean, I could easily afford to get more hay. If I go to here now, daily food 3,000, 36,000 for the year. All right, let's jump into the John Deere. Oh, where's my John Deere? Oh, there it is. Because that's got, of course, the front loader on it. We'll grab a couple of bales and pop it out in there and see how much the feed trough takes. And yes, we got to give them water as well. Now, with the expandable pastures mod, it does say don't go crazy and go too much with it because then it could bug out a little bit. But you can see where the original pasture is, and then where we put the expansion, you can see that the sheep are already going over there. So how, being 550 sheep that this pasture can hold, I'm hoping it holds a lot. And it does. It holds quite a bit. But right now with 20 sheep, we just need, what did it say, 36,000 liters for the year? So, wait, how many bales did I make? I didn't see, I forgot to check. 12 bales. 12 bales at 6. Yeah, okay. We got enough to fill or, to require for the sheep for the next year. But they are going to reproduce. But we can always make hay in the future. And now that I know their feed trough takes quite a bit, then I can kind of adjust to what size bales I want for the sheep. I didn't want to make 40,000 liter bales, and like I said, the feed trough only hold 30,000, because then it'd be just like one bale and that's it. But now that we know, now we know. I will say the wool spawn point does not seem to be that big for a pasture that holds 500 sheep. That's gonna, if we do get 500 sheep, and I assume we will at some point, that wool spawn area is going to fill up rather quick. Alright, so we are good on the hay for now. Let me go ahead and just turn that off. So, yes, we need some water. So let's go ahead, and I want to do a couple things actually. Let's go into construction first off. And what I want to do is landscaping, painting. Just trying to match what's on the ground here. I just want to get rid of the grass in the water trough. That always bugs me. Okay, and now we need to go into buildings. I always forget. Is it under silo or silo extensions? Silo extensions. There's the water. And, okay, I don't want to put... Well, you know what? I could just put it like right here in front of the water trough. Or I could put it on this side of the sheep. No, because the sheep will be walking up to it. So I'm looking for the water trough to be filled up. Maybe I got to expand some time here for that to fill up. I tested this and it worked. There it goes. Water is in there. Okay. I'm like, don't make a liar out of me. Water is in the trough. All right, so we're all set here. So, yep, we know where the feed goes. They got water now. It's good. And we'll start getting wool here pretty soon. And yeah, I want to expand their walking area a little bit more. Now, what we're going to do in the future when I get cows, we're also going to expand the cow pasture into the sheep pasture. So in the same field, we'll see cows roaming around with the sheep and of course, vice versa, which makes perfect sense, right? So that'll be kind of cool. Cows are going to take a while because we got to do the sugar cane, make sugar, get the byproducts from the sugar plant to make TMR. So that's going to be a little bit on down the road. But look how far we come today. We got rid of the original loan. We do have a loan now for $300,000, but I only spent $2.25 of it currently. And yeah, I should have that paid off in about 3 years or so. Or not 3 years. I took a loan out for 5 years. Should have it paid off in about 3 or 4 months, I hope, that loan. And I can still borrow. If I went to the bank right now and I said take out a loan, I could take out a loan for another $980,000 right now. So we can definitely expand from what we have here. But we bought all the equipment that we need for grass cutting. We got ourselves a big tractor also, so that is great. But yes, it's nice to be expanding on the farm. As for the orchards, we will expand on that once we get the sugar production down, which is going to be 80,000. And then, of course, we got to start doing some sugar cane. I could do sugar cane in the field that's down there, but we just weren't ready for it. And when we do the sugar cane, of course, I got to figure out how I want to plant it. And we will be harvesting it with a forage harvester and also a cutter, doing it that way. I'm not going to use the base game sugar cane harvesting equipment because no thank you. That will take forever to do it that way. But yes, we got some sheep. Now we just got to wait for some wool. Oh yeah, the wool. When on this map is the best time to sell wool? I looked at, it is October. So in a couple months, we should be able to sell. I may actually get more sheep so I can get some more wool. Or just let these reproduce throughout the years or the months. It will take them... what am I looking for here? Well, first off, their health has to get up to 100%. Wait, I think I can look... I think it'll tell me in the production... Not production, but sell point here. 8 months. Sorry, 5 months. So every 5 months they'll reproduce, give or take, if their health is good. Yeah, we're not really here to do the wool, but it's just, you know, as everyone mentioned, I said doing cows, I said you got to have sheep in Australia, so... oh, you know what we should do? Hang on a second. Let's go construction, animals, others, dog. And then we will... Let's see, how do I want to do this here? Where shall I put the dog house? Alright, let me just put it up here by the sheep, because I'll just make more sense. And hopefully these markers don't interact with one another. You know, if I put it here... Now we got ourselves a sheepdog. They can herd in the sheep if need be. That's what they can do. We got a sheep herding dog. Not probably the particular breed, but you get the idea. You definitely get the idea. All right, so in between episodes, I will cut the rest of the grass in this field. It's grown, might as well make use of it. I'll probably make some more hay, but I'll make bigger bales. And then, yeah, I'll definitely take all the bales I made right now and stick it into the feed trough so they're good to go. But, yeah, I'll definitely make some more hay and probably try to make like 100,000 liters, maybe even more, just to be sure. But, yeah, there we go. Not too bad. But if you made it this far in the video and you liked what you saw, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Helps out the channel more than you know. And if you haven't already and you're thinking about doing so, please do subscribe as well. But as we're going to wrap it up for today, hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always, and I'll catch you again right here in Western Australia. But until then, have a good one.